Okay, y'all, as promised, we're on the second part, and so we're just going to continue on. Now this time, they gave us a slope and a point, or a point and a slope. So we're going to use the point-slope form of a line, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, okay? Now remember, this is our x and this is our y, right? And there's our slope. So we're just going to plug those in. So y minus, okay, now my y is already a negative. So minus a negative makes this a positive 1, okay? My slope is a -1. You can put a -1 or just a negative. Either one is fine with me. X minus, x1 is 3. Okay, and you are done. All right. I want you to do this one. I'm going to pause the video. I want you to do the same thing. You do that one, okay? All right. Be right back. All right, guys. How did you do? All right. So you substituted the 5 in for the y1. All right. It's positive. So down here it's a negative. Your slope was a -4. You put that in for your m, which is your slope. Then x1 is a -2, so minus a -2 makes it a positive. Okay, so good. Hopefully you got that. And then that is, and it said it could be in point-slope form or slope-intercept form. So these down here, we can either use our calculator or we can find the slope and then put it in point-slope form. Either one. I'm going to opt for the point-slope form. You can put it in using your calculator if you want to. On this one, I will go ahead and solve this one for y. So you can use your calculator if you want to check it. It's up to you. But let's do this one together, finding the slope. So remember, we have to find the slope between the 2 points first. So our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I have 3 minus 5, and I know it's y2 minus y1. It's just y minus y. It doesn't matter which one comes first. And then 1 minus a -2. 3 minus 5 is a -2. 1 minus a -2, that makes that a +2, right? So 1 plus 2 is 3, right? You want to put that in your calculator, see how that works out. Hang on. I want to double check my calculator here. Let's see how we do. At a calculator page. I'm going to check my slope here because, you know, I'm doing this early in the morning. And as y'all know me, I get up early. 1 minus a -2. And I told y'all that I'm going to double check everything if I can. All right, so my slope is a -2 over 3. All right, so I have a -2 over 3. I'm going to plug that in with this point right here. I told you I always use the first point. So y minus, my y1 is 3, equals my slope, which is a -2 over 3, times x minus, my x1 is 1. Okay? And there's that one. Okay? All right. So, if you want to, you can, do you remember how to do this one with your calculator? If you don't, you can do the same thing with the slope and then point-slope form, just like that. All right, pause your video and solve for, pause your video and then do that one. You can put it in point-slope form, you can put it in slope-intercept form. Either one is fine. All right, I'm going to do both. All right, see you in a sec. Whew, man, this looks like a bunch, right? Okay, so what I did is I found the slope between these 2 points. So 5 minus a -3 over -4 minus 2. So I got an 8 over -6, which is, when reduced, is a -4 over 3. So I'm good with that. Then I took that in this point right here, and I plugged that into the point-slope form. Okay, so I told you that I was going to take it on and solve for y, right? Okay, because I thought maybe some of you might use your calculator to use those 2 points and solve for y, or just find the equation using your 2 points in your calculator like we did last week. But I solved it by hand. So I did this. I multiplied the -4 over 3 times x, and negative 4 over 3 times 4. So I got negative 4 over 3x. Negative 4 times 4 is a negative 16. And then that's 3 times 1 is 3. Okay. So then I had to add 5 over here. So I added 5 here. Well, that negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Well, I added 5 over here, but a different way. I added it as 15 over 3. 15 over 3 is still 5, but I also now I have a common denominator of 3. That way, I can combine these and figure out what my fraction is going to be. Okay, so now I have negative 16 plus 15. That's a negative 1. So my equation is y equals a negative 4 over 3x minus 1/3. So I thought, okay, I'm going to double check and make sure that I did that right. So I went to my calculator. So those of you who actually did go to your calculator, if you did list in spreadsheets, you put those points in, negative 4, 5 to negative 3. Data and statistics, you found your equation. Look, they put those decimals in there. It's a negative 1.3 repeating, x plus a negative, I don't like that minus, 0.3 repeating. Okay, and then, if you don't know what those decimals are as fractions, you can use your calculator to determine that. Okay, so you put those in, menu, number, approximate to fraction, enter, and it tells you that it's negative 4 over 3 and also negative 1/3 if you do the negative 0.3 repeating. Okay, all right, good. All right, so let's go back over here to this one. All right, and let's see what else we have. All right, so there's more practice. All right, so let's answer these few questions. We only have 3 questions left. All right, won't take us long. 2 lines that have the same slope will always be parallel. And then this one, these 2 right here. Okay, I want you to answer these 2 questions. I want to see how you do on these. This one right here, which of the following equations would not be? This is a not question. Be careful with not questions. Which would not be parallel to y equals 3x minus 1. So you want to know which one does not have a slope of 3, right? Okay, so solve each one of those for y, or figure out, because this one has a slope of 3, right? So that one's okay. So solve them for y, the other one's for y, and see which one does not have a slope of 3. And then this one right here, if you can remember, this is f of negative 3. Remember, they want you to plug in a negative 3 for x in this function. Okay? See how you do that. See how well you do with that. And then come back and actually just do number 12. Just do number 12, and we're going to do number 13 together. All right. See you in a sec. All right. So this was A. We solved A for y. I ended up with y equals negative 4 plus 3x. Okay, well, 3 is my slope, right? Well, that's parallel because the slope of the original one was 3, right? All right, so that is parallel. So that is not parallel, right? All right, and then the next one, 6x minus 2y equals 9. Ended up getting y equals 3x minus 9 over 2. That's B, right? That slope is also a 3. All right, so it is parallel to y equals 3x minus 1. It has the same slope. We already determined that C was parallel because this slope is 3. Okay, all right. So then I came over here. This is D, right? D. First, looking at it, I went, oh, I don't know if that slope is going to be. But then I went, oh, I'm dividing by negative 3. So after I divide by negative 3, I realized my slope is 1. So this one has a slope of 1. It is not parallel to y equals 3x minus 1 because the slope is not the same. So this is our winner. All right. So I said I was going to work this one with you. So if you have your calculator software out, it would be great to do this. What they want you to do is to plug in this negative 3 in for the x, right? So we have f of x equals, there's a negative on the outside of the parentheses here, 2x minus 1 squared, and then minus 2. Don't forget that minus 2, because that's important. All right, So I'm going to pull my calculator software up here, and I'm going to get a whole new page. I want a calculator page. All right. So this is something new here. All right, but they tell me that they want x to equal. What this is saying is they want x has to equal a -3. They want to know what y is when x equals -3 in this function. Okay? So we can tell our calculator, anytime we put an x in there, we want it to equal -3. And this is how we do that. We do -3, control, var, x, enter. Okay? So now, in this problem, in this problem set, one that's labeled 1 point whatever, anytime you enter x, it's going to have a value of -3. Okay, that variable is going to have a value of -3. So now all I have to do is I have to put this function in. Okay, there's a couple different ways you can do this. Okay, I'm going to put a negative, open parentheses, 2x minus 1 on the outside, squared, and then minus 2. Make sure you drop back down here, okay? And then you hit enter, and it says -51, right? All right, so I'm going to circle this one right here real quick, and I'm going to go back to my calculator. All right, so that's one way you can do that, okay? One way. All right, another way, let's do control doc. We're going to add graphs. Huh. Look, it's f of x, f1 of x. Love it. Let's do a negative, open parentheses, 2x minus 1. Go outside the parentheses. Let's square it. There's your squared button. Make sure you drop down and whoa. Arrow up. Oh no. What did I do? All right. Hit tab. Nope. How do we get there? We'll hit tab, arrow up. Okay. And it's -2, right? All right. And then hit enter. Sorry. All right. So they want to know what the value of y is when x equals a -3. So what we need to do is we need to find the table. All right. So on your calculator, if you do Control T, it gives you the table. Dang, look at that. So these are my x values and f1 of x. You know, that's our fancy way of saying y. These are our y values. So if I arrow up until I get to -3, look what my y value is. Don't you just love that? Man, these calculators are smart, aren't they? All right. So yes, my answer is a -51. All right. All right, y'all. That's it for this lesson. Hope you have a great day. Bye.